Guys, SYN here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so, as of always, on Global, in the absence of the Omega event, we are going to try out the SYN event with our boy Android 13 with his EZA. He should be pretty good. We're going to be able to build up a pretty decent amount of defense by the time we're having to take any AoEs with him. So, I think we should be in a very interesting spot because, as we've seen from the previous videos, we can easily get to over 1 million defense with the Fusion Android 13. So even though SYN's super does hit incredibly hard and lower defense, I feel like on the right rotation, he lives the super, right? So it'd be interesting if we can actually get to see that in the run. And of course, one of the things with because he doesn't AoE until later on, the Android 21s are not as much of a liability against SYN, because if we can get them transformed straight away, and then by the time we get to the physical phase, we have their active skills, so they're getting their start of turn defense, all that good stuff, it can work out relatively nicely. It's probably the only thing I'm looking forward to about the release of the LR Omega Shenron, that we'll finally get the Omega stage on Global. But in typical fashion, until the sync is fully achieved, it's going to be an event that is still, you know, old news because it's been out on JP for so long. So I probably will still do a thing though where when the stage comes out, I'll ask you guys for your feedback and everything, and we'll do some various different showcases of like certain units against the event, right? Because that'll be quite fun to do. So we don't really need to worry about key here at all, do we? It's just key for everyone. Yeah, get Gamma 1 built up a little bit here. Yeah, where's my trucker hat? Hey, dodge the super, why not? SYN, it looks like 13 is your unlucky number. Yeah, the EZA 13 is really good. I'm trying to try him out in a bunch of different events here so I can decide where to put him on the tier list, because I made an EZA tier list after the Hero Celebration had ended, because obviously the fact that we got a couple of Heroes units made it onto that top 10 list for me. So I need to, realistically, I'm going to look at the comments on that video just to see what the overall feedback from people was, and then I might retry out some of the units, just in some, like, you know, off-camera runs or whatever, for any units that people thought were too high or too low. Have a bit of a play around with them and see what I think, because some of them, to be fair, even when like making those lists, some of the units I haven't necessarily used in a short or fairly long amount of time, I guess. So I looked at the old tier list that I'd made, and I was thinking to myself, like, where would I put, like, who on this list would I definitely put 13 like above, and it was an interesting thing to think about. So we have 615k defense already on this team, and then Evil 21 has 584, and remember, she has 21% damage reduction as well, which is kind of crazy. So if we do this, and then get the support from Bulma as well, so all those numbers go up even higher. The AoE being in slot 1 in situations like this is actually good, because we know that no one's getting supered in slot 1, and all of these guys can tank normals. And then once 21 does her super, she's tanking his super now for double-digit damage on this turn. 6.7. Can we get an additional? Though this is the thing, right? When you're not fighting a Goku, so he has no extra additional in his base chance. Not getting the additional supers is just really unfortunate, because he keeps those stacks permanently. So, yeah, see, 363. Oof. And that was with him, what, raising defense. He would have raised defense again another time. So he still had, what, 750k defense there? Honestly, I have no clue where he goes because he can't take the big supers. I mean, this is the thing, right? So he's a unit that fits into that category. I've talked about this a lot in the past because there are a lot of units like this. He's a unit that fits into that category where, like, he tanks every single normal in the game with basically no issue. But then super attacks he just can't really handle, which is unfortunate. Do we go for getting 16 out here? Or do we keep 21 on rotation? We didn't get either of the 21s to transform before we got to physical SYN as well, which is not really what we wanted. No, we'll keep him untransformed for the support for now. Yeah, the $30 haircut thing being from the official dub. I always forget, because it's such a weird line, I actually genuinely forget sometimes which are the ones that are memes because they are funny lines from the thing, or they're just memes because they're from the Team 4-star one. Because that movie is very odd. 9.9. I mean, I think the thing we can all agree on is they definitely snapped with the LR Androids EZA. They are very, very good. Alright, so hopefully we actually don't kill here, because then that lines us up for the 21 transformations relatively good. Yeah, fortunately against the AGL phase, they're pretty well suited. Of course, 21 is just going to kill. Plus the fact that the 13 movie has the hilarious, like, groin punch, which is just like... Whose idea was that? It's just so funny. 13 just punching Goku in the groin. It just seems so out of place and hilarious. Oh. I mean, could we be any more lucky? Oh yeah, people got mad that we didn't get the 21 transformation in the previous showcase, so we'll do it for this one. Absolutely cackling at the UI Goku League. Well, I think the thing is, I feel like we could all agree at this point that if Legends has leaked every single UI Goku release, they must be doing it on purpose, because UI Goku is like a big hype release, right? So people get excited for a UI Goku. So I feel like at this point they just do it on purpose. Okay, so, I mean, I guess we'll get to see firsthand whether Android 13 can tank a super from SYN, because even though Physical 21 does have 21% damage reduction, she's only got 300k defense start of turn, so putting her in slot 1 is probably not ideal. So we're going to go ahead and do this, and we'll see how we go. All of his AoEs are at the end, so him supering in slot 1 would not surprise me at all. Okay, oh, the GOAT. And that's why you give the boy a load of dodge. I did want to see him eat the super, to be fair, because I wanted to see how much damage he takes, but... Because, yeah, he lowers defense, which is why it would be an issue, because Android 13's only defense against the attacks is his raw defense. So, him getting supered by SYN is bad. But I feel like the more I use him as well after these last couple of showcases, I feel like I was wrong to not give him crit, because his crit chance from his passive only comes from him fighting Super Saiyans or a Goku. So because all of these harder events, we're not fighting any of those enemies, he's not getting crit, so he's not doing like crazy damage. Hey Minato in the chat, how's it going? Yeah, so it means he's not really ever doing crazy damage, because that's people's complaints about like 21 and God Goku and stuff like that. That they can do all these attacks and they're doing like 7, 8, 9 million attack stats, but if they're not critting, you're not doing, you know, loads of damage. And I kind of feel that, I get that impression from the Transformed 13 now quite a bit, right? Where he's not critting on any of these supers, because mine only has level 3 crit, but we're not fighting Super Saiyan or Goku enemies. So he's not getting that increased crit chance. The problem is, like, He wants additional because in his base, you want to try and get additional supers so he gets those extra stacks. And then realistically, he wants dodge because as we saw yesterday from the showcase against Fusion Zamasu, even when he's rocking over 100 million, when he's rocking over 1 million defense at the start of the turn, he still gets destroyed by like Fusion Zamasu's super attack. So it's kind of a tricky thing to decide. He's one of the, unfortunately, he seems to me like he is one of those units that just unironically wants all of the hidden potential abilities. But you can't give him all of them. So yeah, I don't know. Because I mean, his main role is going to be being a support unit on the Android team for the first couple of turns. But then he transforms and then he essentially is just a damage dealer. But without the crit, he's not doing a lot of damage. And having 1 million raw defense is really good. But again, like, if you're still dying to the big boss super attacks, then you're going to want dodge. So it's interesting to think about what his optimal hidden potential build is. So I'm interested, you guys let me know, what build did you give your Android 13? Let me know down below in the comments. Obviously, people who are here live, let me know in the chat. 20 additional, 12 crit, 9 dodge. That's pretty good. I mean, again, this is the thing, right? Like, sometimes I feel like you lean towards more dodge because he's going to be a support unit that you don't want to get hit by these big attacks. But, I mean, we've already run through all of the abilities, right? He wants all of them. He wants the additionals for the stacks in base. He wants crit so that he's actually doing damage when he transforms. And he wants dodge for those times where you're not getting hit with a super. Like this previous turn against SYN. Like, we might have died to that super attack. Like I say, I want to see him get hit by SYN's super. So we're going to do the same rotation again and see how we go. Oh, I should have turned it off for the second one, but I guess it is what it is. There you go. It makes up for this not being in the video yesterday. You get it twice in this one. 21 additional, 6 crit, 7 dodge. Crit and dodge with the 3, 5 additional seems optimal. See, the problem is, like I said, you want him to additional super in his base because then he keeps all of those stacks. So I don't know if that would be optimal. This is going to be a bit of a rough turn because of the AoEs. That 3 AoEs all in slot 1 is a bit of a yikes. I mean, I guess at least the 21s do have their damage reduction now, so it's not the end of the world. Although it could be, who knows? Let's see. Obviously, 13's going to take double-digit damage because he's basically got 1 million defense. Okay, that's not too bad. Dodge, nice. I mean, he takes double digits, so who cares? 21 got hit and got a defense buff, so now she takes double digits, so that's actually good. So we didn't lose that much. Now, is he going to get supered as well? Right, here we go. So this, how much does this do? We got almost 1 million defense. 644. Okay. What was our maximum HP on the team? Because obviously we did lose a ton of HP before he got hit with the super. Let me bring that up here. I can check the stream thingy. So we had 684. So technically, if we were on full HP, he would survive the super. But then because SYN lowers defense, I'm not sure how much his defense lower is. Because depending on the percentage he lowers defense, would 13 still tank the normals afterwards? Because that's another big problem that we have with SYN. It was something that we were running into when we were doing the heroes attempts. Is he could super like Super Saiyan 3 Goku in slot 1. And then after the super, he wouldn't be taking double digits from normals anymore because of the defense lowering. So that's going to be one of the things that could be a big issue for 13 here. Yeah, Lazarus saying I think it's a 40% defense debuff. So, yeah, exactly. If we'd had an extra stack or 2 in base, that would have been a little bit less damage. And yeah, if we were on full HP, technically we would have survived the super. But then the question is, would we have survived the turn after that? So, I'm not really sure. But there you go. So, Android 13 versus SYN. My overall impression of him is still kind of the same, right? I do think he's really good. But as I use him a little bit more, the hidden potential, I think, is, like I say, a bit of an issue. I don't really know what I would think is the optimal build for him. Because If he's on the team to be a support unit, once he transforms, he's not doing that anymore. So then if he's not doing a lot of damage, he's basically just kind of there. He has good links, and he has good raw defense, but... Yeah, I don't know. So you guys let me know what you think. I'll play around with him in some other events, and then I'll probably do the tier list in the next day or so for the EZAs. I think he definitely is in the top 10. I'm just not sure where I would put him on that list. So I guess we will have to see. But let me know your thoughts down below. And like I said, let me know your hidden potential build for 13, or at least what you think it would be. Let me know down below in the comments section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.